of inciting the violence and were fined $2,000, which was later increased to $5,000. 2 days later, violence again broke out, this time between Lamen and Banjul at the Bucksby Mini Stadium in Brikama, forcing the match to be abandoned. Fans of the Common North Zone were blamed for the cause of the trouble, and as a result, the organizing committee decided to throw Lamen out of this year's competition and fine them $5,000. With violence on the increase, the organizers of the Super Nawetan, in consultation with relevant stakeholders, decided to indefinitely halt games. Whatever the case, it is sad to see this beautiful tournament in this unfortunate situation and an unpleasant scene of fans fighting running battles at football grounds. Opinions may be divided, but it is a rational decision to halt play indefinitely, since what is happening is defeating the purpose of the Super Nawetan. How can our football develop to the desired level when the tournament many see as the future of Gambian football is repeatedly tainted by unnecessary violence? It is for the good of our football that the auspicious tournament is played in the spirit of fair play, accept results in good faith, and go home in peace and security. Besides, we are one people. Football fans should mature in the game and know that violence has no place in our game, and it should be the collective responsibility of all to make this one-off tournament a violent-free championship. For all the recent issues surrounding this exciting tournament, it is imperative to ask, what do we gain from a tournament full of off-field violence? Modest Jallo, Sports Tonight.
Talking about the zonals and its violence, Sports Tonight's Mood S. Jallo visited our archives to bring you memories of the last Super Nawetan final between Brikama and Bakau, which was marred by violence.
It is another low point in Gambian football and a dark stain on a tournament widely embraced by the country's football fraternity. The football played in the 2 weeks of the zonal championship has been one of absorbing contests, fanfare and high-quality organization, albeit until the events of Saturday evening. The atmosphere at the East Park was electric. Fans from Bakau, Brikama and those from the Serekunda end stormed the venue to watch the final. And they weren't to be disappointed, as the two sides engaged in an engrossing, high-octane encounter which produced a flurry of goals. Games between these two communities are uncommon occurrences. To have a final game between Bakau and Brikama becomes a special show. Brikama raced into a 2-goal lead. The elegantly gifted Sini Sambu scored first with a fine strike. When Modulamin Saho scored this fantastic goal, the huge traveling support of the West Coast region side was sent into dreamland. Bakau's response to that twin setback was swift and decisive. Sanat Dabo reducing the deficit shortly after Brikama's second goal. The coastal side completed their comeback courtesy of Suleiman Sanyan's header. For all the good work of the past 2 weeks, and on a day the two sides played their part in a wonderful game of football, the events of the closing stages of the game provided the country and its football a sobering reflection. It will be another busy time for organizers and investigators to reach at the bottom of the latest installment of football melee in Gambian football. But nothing will pass without a thorough scrutiny of the behavior of some fans and the actions of riot police on the ground. Grts Sport is Babukar Senghor.
Jolakunda Football Club were over the weekend crowned champions of the 2013 Mandinari Nawetan Football Tournament. Jolakunda defeated Sanchaba River Lodge Football Club 2-0 to win the late Mahmoud Max Jallo Memorial Trophy. MS Jallo watched the thrilling final at the Mandinari football field, and he reports.
He may have left us some months back for the other side of the wall, but the name Mahmoud Max Jallo continued to resonate around various sporting events across the country. 6 months after his sudden demise, the late Max Jallo, former Executive Secretary of the National Sports Council, is still being mourned and remembered either by observing a minute's silence at sporting gatherings or competitions being named after him. One such tournament was the late Mahmoud Max Jallo Memorial Football Tournament in Mandinarim Village, which came to a thrilling climax over the weekend in an entertaining final between Sanchaba River Lodge Football Club and Jolakunda Football Club. Hundreds of spectators filled the Mandinarim football field, amongst them family members and friends of the late Max Jallow, officials of the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Gambia Football Federation. The match got underway amidst a colorful atmosphere with great fanfare from both sets of fans, the ambience depicting the real beauty of village football. It was an eventful contest throughout the 90 minutes, with both Sanchaba River Lodge and Jola Kunda trying to establish an early dominance. The first period was played at a high tempo, but neither sides were able to unlock each other's defense, and the first period hence ended in a goalless draw. The two teams remained unchanged after the break, with both coaches sticking to the same formation, but the two teams showed more attacking instinct in the second period. The game became more open, with an end-to-end stuff. Sanchaba though looked to have gained the upper hand in the second half, with more of the possession and doing more of the pressing, but they failed to convert their possession into goals. With the game seemingly heading to penalties, Jola Kunda got the breakthrough in the 63rd minute against the run of play when Keba Fai gave his side the lead from a close-range finish. Moments later, Jola Kunda doubled their lead when Alaji Jiba's corner was headed by Ibrahim Abba into his own net, giving Jola Kunda a 2-0 cushion, and their fans stormed the pitch in wild celebrations. Sanchaba fought back, but it was too little, too late, as Jola Kunda FC held on to win the late Mahmoud Max Jallow Memorial Trophy. Jola Kunda Football Club were crowned champions of the 2013 Mandinari Summer Football Championship and went home with the late Max Jallow Memorial Trophy with a cash prize of $9,500. Modest Jallow, Grts Sports.
The two infantry battalions of Farafeni Barracks are the champions of the third edition of the Gambia Armed Forces Inter-Unit Sports Competition.
The military sports competition, as we hear in this report, is meant, amongst other things, to strengthen unity among the armed men and women.
This was the joyous scene among personnel of this 2 Infantry Battalion after being declared the overall winners of the 3rd edition of the Gambia Armed Forces Inter-Unit Sports Competition. After 10 days of stiff competition in different sporting events such as football, volleyball, wrestling, featuring 6 units of the Gambia Armed Forces, the 3rd Military Sports Championship wraps up recently at the Yundum Barracks with the awarding of trophies and prizes to the winners. The annual sports competition is part of the Chief of Defense Staff's training directives meant to improve the physical fitness of troops and strengthen the unity amongst the armed men and women.
We are gathered here today to witness the closing ceremony of the Gambia Armed Forces Inter-Unit Sports Competition.